Hello again, everyone. Another Mini GT. This time it's number 953, and it is the white version of the Mazda AZ-1 with a Liberty Walk body kit that makes it look like an F40. And it was shown, I guess, at the 2024 Auto Salon there. 14 and up. It is approved by Mazda and Liberty Walk. Okay. I like the packaging. I always mention this because packaging costs money. You know, it doesn't cost that much money to buy a cardboard box and a blister, seeing how that's used for food packaging. But when you get those big crystal cases, that stuff adds up. It's adding to the price of the model. And I just want the model to be nice, not the packaging. If you look here on the website, once I focus, pull this out. Here's the Liberty Walk website. This body kit is $23,000. It's an expensive body kit. Granted, it does totally change the appearance of it. And it's a lot cheaper than buying a real F40. It's got some forged wheel option, $14,000 for that. Maybe they're made by Rays, if I had to guess. So that's something an F40 generally doesn't do either. Gull wings. Alright. I was worried I was going to have to paint the seats red, but I think we can skip that. Okay, a little canard there, the badging, the two snackaducks on this side. It all seems to match up pretty well. The four taillights, the center pipes. Okay. It's hard to focus between two different objects at two different distances, so it's the best I could do. Let's take a look and see how this thing... First of all, MiniGT's roll. It seems to be something that the brand always wants to get done, rolling, but frankly I think it's a waste because it very often means you have this gappiness you see in the tire. You don't see that on the real photos, right? So you're giving up realism for a toy feature. If you want to collect toys, but I guess this is a toy then, it's not a scale model. Okay, well, the wheels, they're black, so they're difficult to see, but you do have the four lug nut details. They should technically be silver or chrome lug nuts. And there's no brakes on a Mini GT because of the pricing, but that's fine by me. Okay, well, what is nice about the brand, though, is all these graphics are paint. Sometimes they have decals, but not today. I don't think so. Let's see. Paint, paint, paint. They even have the little black paint in the stripe here. Although, I gotta say, it doesn't look very good. I cannot focus. What is going on with this body? It looks like the paint is chipped off or something here. And so, like, there's a paint process here, a paint process here. And they're just not matching up, so there's like a dog leg there. So that doesn't look so great. But here, yeah, we have the Nakaduck there. This one is recessed and painted. This Nakaduck isn't painted. It's just white, but just like the real photograph. I don't know what this blue, I mean not blue, what am I thinking? What this black circle is for. It's on the real photograph. Oh, that's probably the lock for the door, because these are gull wings. Yeah, just guessing, but leave a corrective comment if that's the case of me being wrong as usual. So rubbery mirrors are nice. And then we have the recess area, so you could add some silver in there easily. The rear wheel, I guess it's nice enough. Hard to say if they're exactly the same as... They don't look... Well, I guess they look good enough. The tire sidewall, it's not super flat. It's got some sort of curvature to it. Oh, just a faint amount, though. And the treads, they're modern-looking treads. And nice. It actually tells you what it is. So I don't know if that's a new thing from the brand, but it's like the first 800 of them. They'll tell you what the model is. So this is nice. It tells you what it is. So that's cool. And then it's nice that you could also unscrew it and add some more details. Is this a fan underneath this car? I wonder what the AutoZam was. Well, leave a comment if you know. Alright, so this looks like a separate piece here. I don't know if this rear end opens. We'll have to check later. The graphics, again, this line, just something went wrong. It's like, why is there also this crease here? I don't see that on the side photo. I don't know why there's a line here and here, as if the door was made of two parts. Unless literally the body kit ends here. That's what I'm guessing. This is probably an add-on body kit that goes on top of the stock door here. It's just that, excuse me. The real car is white. I can't see that line, but it's probably there. Okay, so it's funny, it says LB40 instead of F40. And then you have the window within windows here. It's raised up, looking nice. Alright, a little canard thing here is this plastic insert, pretty thin. And also the chin spoiler is very thin. I think that might be, I don't know if this is metal. It's so thin though. Unless there's material backing it inside the car. Maybe that's it. It's just very rare to see metal that casted that thin. The ducts here have some black. I can feel a texture. You can see a texture in the middle one. And this black stripe is nicely done. So the light covers are nicely done. They're clear and they have the white border with some rivet details or body screw details. And then the bucket behind has some black and silver for the headlights. This NACA duct even has a little black there, so that's nice. And same here, there's black in the back of these vents. Very cool. These are recessed and filled with black paint. Very cool. Slammed, alright. Molded in wiper blade. It's a very frail looking wiper blade. I don't know why they didn't make that bigger. Why? Yeah, they could have easily molded that to be more realistic. But, don't know. Liberty Walk here is printed on. It's not a decal. It's paint, so that's great. There's like a carbon fiber texture. I can feel that in this middle section. That's cool. Some vent details over the engine. And then this is paint again. It's not a decal. So very cool. Seems to be plastic, that wing. So the rear, we do have red translucent taillights. There's light bouncing around in them. I kind of feel like they're too small though. Look at the rear photo. These lights look a lot bigger in the rear photograph. I'm not sure why MiniGT wouldn't mold these bigger. There's no reason why they need to be this small. They could have easily made them bigger. Anyhow, the Liberty Walk here is nice. Toyota tires. The exhaust tips are, I think, flat, just a black graphic over the silver for the holes. This is kind of recessed and painted red. These veins here are kind of thin. And then we have some body screws or rivets again here, molded in. They're sticking upwards, I think, and the carbon texture is nice. I can feel it. And yeah, sadly this wing, a little too much plastic was cut off, but it's a pretty thin wing, looking good. Yeah, so really, I guess the only thing is the taillights don't really look as large as they should be. They look too small. Alright, well, the interior is easy to look at since it's got such big skylights there. So the dashboard, yeah, standard details there. What is going to get your attention most is the fact that it has red racing seats with some harnesses there. So those are pretty cool. Let's see about the dashboard. Yeah, nice molded details. Steering wheel looks pretty nice. I think it even has the stalks for the turn signal and the wiper blades. Yes, it does. I don't think it's going to have pedals. I don't know. You can't see anything else back here, or what do the door panels look like? Yeah, door panels in black. A little armrest there. It's just pretty much flat behind the seats, a little parcel shelf of some sort. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm really happy they did the seats because they're so easily visible with this type of top cabin. It's just all one molded piece, I think, this whole top part. But it's really well done. Very cool. And then you don't have to worry about the mirrors breaking off, so it's a great part of this brand. Alright, some comparisons. So the first one was the Aoshima AZ-1. So that's a stock one. And you'll see the Liberty Walk one is basically they're adding to the front end. They're extending that nose forward. See how big the taillights are on that thing? It's more proportional to the real car. Yeah. Okay. What else to look at? Well, we have a couple other Ferraris. This is a Kyosho 512 BB. The reason I bring this up is because this came up, I think, before the F40. I could be wrong, but 1979. I'm pretty sure the F40 wasn't out until like the 80s, maybe the mid 80s. And so here's an F40 GTE by Kyosho that ran in 1995. So I just look at the styling of this, and it was very, I think maybe a lot of that ended up in the F40. Another small car I'm going to put up is the Honda Beat, which is the competition for the AZ-1. So these are K-class cars, I believe, 660 cc's, and just really small cars for the small streets of Tokyo. Alright, you can look up the reviews of these things elsewhere. So looking at the full-size Ferrari, here's a resin model. I think it was MY64, I can't really remember, to be honest with you. But it's a resin model, so it's highly detailed. It's quite awesome. And then here's the Fuel Me version of the LBWK full-size F40. So essentially a lot of the details of this over-fendered F40 are shrunken down onto this AutoZam. It's got the raised competition rear wing. It's got obviously the rear over fenders, but obviously it also has this like two-step canard on the front kind of thing. It's got a central aqueduct. It's got these vents over the wheel wells. So yeah, just a shrunken down thing, but let me give you a top view. Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable driving this on the freeway. I mean, if you crashed with any other vehicle, this thing's going to be flown off just because it's so small. Unless you, I guess if you crash with a motorcycle, you might win out in that crash. But any other car, I don't know, it's a little bit sketchy looking. K-class cars. You can look up reviews of the other things. Okay, well, I would say it's still another great MiniGT. A couple issues. The black line printing on the side, because they had to do it in two steps, just doesn't look like a straight black line. And then I think the taillights could have been an easy thing to have better. They look like they're black, right? Look at them. Even though there is clearness to them, they're surrounded by black. So if they were bigger and if they were sticking out more, I think they would catch more of the light and simply not look as black. You see how this Kyosho, their lights stick out more? They're catching the light. Or where's the F40 one? Let's put these next to each other and just look at the tail lights. Yeah, see the Kyosho, because it has such big lights and they stick out, they look like they're colored. The MiniGT, I'm just not getting that vibe. So that's unfortunate. But it's a minor thing. And I think the key thing is the seats are red. So if you have dark taillights versus red seats, I guess I'd just rather go with the red seats and dark taillights, because I don't want to paint those seats myself. Alright, so thank you for watching, everyone. We will see you the next time a MiniGT comes in. Bye.